Everywhere we go, it's the Tottenham boys making all the noise. Everywhere we go, let's go, boys.
This dude's gonna be insufferable tonight.
This is Red Card Radio.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're tuning in. Thanks for listening. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight is Brad. He supports Chelsea. And down below us is the normally melancholy Sean, who it seems like he might have had a good weekend. I'm not really sure because I don't know if any actual football was played this weekend. Right, Brad? Did you see?
Yeah.
Nothing happened for you? Yeah.
No, I didn't see anything. I don't know what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
like it's an international break, right? Like there's a World Cup draw.
We're coming. Yeah, something like that. Right?
I think there was only one game played in London. There was a few others that weren't played very well, at least.
I don't know.
All of them were technically played in London.
Yeah, right.
I knew they were. There was a couple of London derbies.
There went
awry.
Yeah, just one or two. Well, I guess it depends on who you ask.
Yeah, I guess those championship clubs, man, they had some great London derbies. I don't know what Premier League games happened this weekend.
I don't know. Arsenal got slapped by Crystal Palace. They're not a championship club. What's up, everybody? Good evening. Hello. If you're tuning in for the first time, we really appreciate you listening. If you could hit that like, comment, subscribe button, give us shoot us a comment down below, leave us 5-star if you're on Apple Podcasts. All those things really, really help us. We want this podcast. We're trying to grow this podcast. This is the first full season we've been doing. The second year we've been doing this, trying to get up to 50 subscribers on YouTube. So if you know somebody who's not subscribed, maybe you should send them our way. You wouldn't want anything to happen, any kind of like inconvenience to come upon you throughout your life. Right, Sean?
No, because if you don't like, subscribe, rate, and review 5-star, what might befall of you is your favorite football club has a former club legend go to another team to manage and come shit on your parade when you're in fourth place with your biggest rival in fifth place. That might happen to you if you don't like, subscribe, rate, and review.
Oh, I see. When you said former legend, I thought you were talking about Christian Eriksen going to Brentford. But then you turned it on the head. And you went manager. So you were, of course, referring to the newly inducted Premier League Hall of Famer Patrick Vieira. How many Premier League Hall of Famers does Spurs have? Just wondering. Just wondering.
I'd probably imagine one, right?
Who?
I always forget who it is from the early 90s.
Are you still trying to claim Alan Shearer?
Yeah. But whoever it actually is probably in there.
Well, to be fair, I think there's only 6 players in the Premier League Hall of Fame.
Okay, then so probably not yet.
Do you know half of them? Do you know which club half of them belong to? Just wondering. Just wondering. Do you know? Are you sure? Do you know? I could tell you.
Did they score any goals on?
Nope, shouldn't.
Monday.
Club didn't score any goals. Just got 3 members in the Premier League Hall of Fame. Just saying. All right. Okay. That's all we got. The Premier League Hall of Fame is kind of silly anyway, but I'm willing.
Yeah, it is because it's like 20 years old.
I'm willing to claim it as it makes Arsenal look good right now. Sean has no idea what we're talking about, Brad, clearly, because the Premier League Hall of Fame is brand new.
Wait. Are you talking because the Premier League is 20 years old, or is the Hall of Fame 20 years old? Because I think both of those answers are wrong.
Like 30. What is the Premier League? 30 years?
Yeah. The Premier League's 30 years old, but they just started the Premier League Hall of Fame
Yes, I know. So what are we doing with the Hall of Fame here? We got like 100 players that have played in the Premier League. I don't know. Like, what are we doing? It's only been around 30 years. Like, what are we doing here?
Oh man, why? And all of our credibility just went out that window right now.
Why don't we just start a Red Card Radio Hall of Fame?
I'm certainly not inducting you on your geography skills. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, it hasn't been around long enough for a Hall of Fame. It's dumb.
To be fair, you have to be retired from Red Card Radio, so I think Tamzeed's the only one that would qualify.
True.
Yeah.
But as we get started today, before we get too deep, this is what we have for you guys tonight. We're going to hit on the comments. The people are coming for you, Sean. Then we're going to go over the matches that took place last week. And last weekend, we'll talk about match week 30. Hit the Champions League. Quick note on the U.S. men's national team and England and the World Cup. It's a bit of a tease. Before we look forward to match week 31 coming up this weekend. And round out, probably talking a little bit of Champions League football. But let's start with
Eddie Sheringham was who I was looking for, by the way.
Yeah, you always come back 5 minutes later.
I don't know. There's some shearing going on. That's all I got.
Something sheer.
There's shearing.
Okay, so let's hit these comments. So Joel, good friend of the podcast, Joel.
Friend of the pod.
I formally accept your invitation into the penalty shootout. You are more than welcome to join. And here's his guarantee, Sean. Not going to save any. You, me, Jimmy, no one's saving any of his penalties. That's his guarantee. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that, Sean?
That is quite the proclamation. Well, I'll give it to him because he's saying save, not save plus miss.
I think.
So wait, you're not saving any of Joel's shots? Is that what you're saying now? Because you said you're going to save Ibra's.
That's true.
But you're saying you're not going to save one of Joel's?
No.
That is true.
No, my point on Ibra, I said it on the podcast, was that Ibra is cheeky enough. He's going to try some dumb shit and he's going to miss.
Joel, looks like you're better than Ibra, bro. You should call up AC Milan and see if you can back up Giroud.
Yeah, Joel, I don't know you personally. Yet I haven't met you in person, but I would imagine based on our interactions that I'm not getting to any of your penalties. But you're more than welcome to join and make Sean look silly. I don't think I'll save any of your penalties, but I also don't think I'll save any of Jimmy's penalties. I do think I'll save some of Sean's though.
Ooh. All right, well, looks like I'm gonna be Anthony Taylor here on the line as the ref. I'm gonna be blowing whistles. You gotta stay behind the line for the ball's kicked.
Yeah, we need to set a camera on the goal line for some Hawkeye.
I'm gonna be there. I'm the Hawkeye.
You have to be on. You could be on the line. You don't have to be behind the line.
Yeah, you have to be touching the line.
Yeah, touching the line.
No stutter steps though.
No stutter steps. No, nothing. You gotta be planted for that ball's kicked.
Now I'm talking about the shooter. Got to have one continuous motion through the ball. But yeah, Joel, the more the merrier. This will eventually happen. At some point in the future, we're all going to find a time and a generally central location to meet up, and we will record it and put it online, much to the dismay of Sean, I'm sure, at the end of it.
Okay.
So we're moving on. Going to hit up Jimmy. Jimmy, this is what Jimmy says. This is a reference to your Klopp needs to stop whining comments from last week. Jimmy says, it's been a while since we have had a genuinely hot take from Sean. I don't generally listen to pre or post press conferences where Klopp would speak. However, I don't know that he has said much about fixture congestion since before Christmas. My only basis for this is that it hasn't been mentioned in the Liverpool subreddit, and there are constant Klopp quotes over there. I think that there was a referee complaint a month or so back, but that's all I can think of on the Klopp complaining about something front. I think the real problem here is that no one has ever hugged Sean the way that Klopp hugs all of his players, and he is jealous. Sean, buddy, if it has really been bothering you, he'll give you a hug. Win or lose after the penalty shootout. Does that make you feel good, Sean?
No. Klopp can get out of here. Get out of here with his teeth.
So Jimmy had another comment. He said, read the transcripts of the pre-match conference before Benfica. Klopp was asked about the busy April. Klopp on challenges of April. It's nice. We enjoy it. Training sessions are very short. The meeting we had this morning was shorter than the training session. It is the situation we would have dreamed of. You're right, Sean. Dude has got to stop whining.
Where was that tune in December? Where it's busy every December. And it's busy for all 19 other teams.
I think Klopp's most humorous quote recently was in reference to Norwich City. It was something along the lines of, even with 5 subs, you guys would still be relegated. So why did we not have 5 subs? Which is genuinely hilarious. I could hear him saying it too. But you're absolutely wrong about everything you argued about last week, Sean, in terms of rest and turnaround, and this is Will's take on the Sean. Sean thinks that professional football players.
I'm glad 2 more people get to rest their little feetsies for 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
More than they normally do. What is 2 subs doing for anything?
All right, we'll talk about that in a second. But this is Will's comment. Sean on the rest recovery is the most baseball player / goalkeeper take I've heard in a while. It's not about cardiovascular capacity or recovery. It's about joints, tendons, ligaments, muscles. When you go hard in a contact sport, it takes a few days to recover, regardless of how good your recovery routine is. Trying to play again immediately will inevitably increase injury rates and decrease performance levels. Cricket's been around a lot longer than football. There's a reason why there are no football test matches.
I was ready for this one.
Let's hear it.
Here we go.
I'm prepared. Let me put my feet up for this one.
When you go hard in a contact sport, it takes a few days to recover. All right, great. So you play on Saturday, get 3 days rest, play in the midweek, and then get 4 days rest and play on the weekend. Wow, you little babies. You've now figured out your little rest problem. God, what do you want, a week off every week?
No.
You're running around, kicking a ball.
Everyone agrees that if you have 3 full days off of rest between matches, that's fine. But what Klopp is talking about is 48 hours, 36 hours. That's that's not enough time for...
It happened once.
Okay.
It happened a couple of times.
So the difference is playing, so you're saying 3 full days. Play on Saturday, no game Sunday, no game Monday, no game Tuesday, play on Wednesday. Then no game Thursday, no game Friday, no game Saturday, no game Sunday, play on Monday.
You play on Sunday. So 3-1-3-1-3-1. That's perfectly reasonable.
Agreed, but that's not how the Premier League is scheduled, and you know it. That's not how the Premier League is scheduled with all of the other tournaments and potential engagements that these clubs have. That's not how it's scheduled. It's how it should be scheduled, but it's not.
Every once in a while, you're going to have 2 full days off. You'll be all right.
But do you concede?
They try to do that. They try, if you're playing midweek, they try to give you a Friday or Saturday game.
Do you concede the point that there is significant wear and tear on joints, ligaments, muscle groups, things
like that? Not even all season. It's just a couple. It's just a couple of times a year.
Do you think that there's a cumulative buildup of stress and strain on the body that where in September, October, November it's less important than in February, March, April?
Okay, then just get all the cups out at the beginning of the season then.
So you don't think that Tottenham is playing better now because they have no other cups to play for? You don't think that those
we had
extra
4 games in hand. We've been playing midweek all the time. We're playing midweek this week, making up a game.
No, you're not.
Was it last week?
No, you guys were on international break. You guys play again
you guys
on.
I think you guys are caught
on
up
Saturday. Yeah, you guys are basically caught up. The only teams that aren't caught up are Arsenal, Chelsea, probably Burnley. Burnley. Everton, Leicester, Arsenal, Chelsea.
Yeah.
I
mean, there are a couple teams that have played 31 games, like Brentford and West Ham.
Also, Brad, none of our 3 teams get a break for international break. Just a FYI.
That's even less. That
even
hurts
more.
Your argument. That hurts your argument even more.
I didn't say international break. I said that you weren't in any European Cup. You weren't in any other Cup competitions. That you guys are out of every single Cup competition. You think it's improved Tottenham's play or not?
It's the same point I'm making. Is that he's saying no? Don't you think you're playing better now that you haven't had any of these cups? No. We just had 2 weeks off, Brad. No, we didn't. We played the whole time, and we're still playing well.
No, you're misunderstanding me. Not international break. I'm saying if you're not in the FA Cup, if you're not in the EFL Cup, if you're not in the in whatever European Cup you're in, you don't think that genuinely makes you a better team.
We've been making up games. We've been playing midweek. We've been making up games.
Not for a while.
Yes, we had like
you've been on pace with everybody else. That was a month or two ago when everybody was still playing Europe. What? But there still have been no cup games because you guys bowed out so early. Like, if you don't think that extra rest and not having those games is huge, then you're wrong. It gives you more training time with Conte. Because
that's exactly my point. Because we're not in those cups, we've been making up the games we had in hand.
I guess
that's exactly my point.
I guess you're just refusing to accept that like there's a cumulative like effect on players and on like the body as a whole, and that like
on having rest.
Yeah, like even like not playing. And so to the two extra subs aspect of it, if two more players in your first team don't have to play an extra 30 minutes every game, like the number of minutes that they've played over the course of the season is drastically reduced, meaning that they're so think about it like a pitch limit on innings limit on a pitcher. Their arm, it only has so many innings that they can throw in a year, right? And so when you get to a point where they're like at like 90% of their capacity for the year, and then like you're making a playoff run, it's always a risk to pitch that player, to pitch that pitcher, because they could throw out their arm, they could destroy their elbow at any moment, because the stress and the wear and tear on their arm is so great at that point. It's a cumulative effect over the course of a season, and over the course the football season starts in April, in mid-August, excuse me. It goes until early May, nonstop essentially for these players, especially at the high levels that are playing at internationals. And then in the summer, they might get 4 to 5 weeks off if there's no internationals. Like, and even with international games being played, if there's friendlies or smaller cups or whatever, like maybe they get 3 weeks or 4 weeks off, like in an entire calendar year. Like some of these players have been playing nonstop since COVID. Like since we came back from COVID, like some of these players have been playing nonstop for almost 2 whole years now. And then they're not going to get any break this summer because the leagues are going to start earlier because the Qatar World Cup happening in the middle of December. So like players are getting burned out at a higher rate right now.
I got a hot take on that one later too. They play all year anyway. Again, to my point.
Bro,
they're already playing all year. What do you want to do? Just all right, just give them half the year off, and we'll figure it out. What do you want to do?
Literally, no one is saying that, Sean. You're being you're exaggerating for the purpose of. No one is saying that they shouldn't be playing all year. No one is saying that they don't have an. What I'm saying is that if you're playing every 2 days, which if it happens very rarely, I will grant you it happens rarely. But what I'm arguing is that there is a cumulative effect of playing football at the highest level over the course of an entire football season, and that it seems to me like you are being flippant about that and not respecting that.
Yes,
okay. All right, cool.
Your perception is correct, because what the fuck? Like, I'm not saying it's your job, do it. I'm just saying, like, everyone else is doing it. Like, you're not getting disadvantaged in any way. Also, it's not that hard to play a game every 3 days. Like, wow. Like, or not, maybe not 3 days rest is what 3 days rest.
I'd be dead.
Like,
I would not be alive if that was my. I
could. Playing every 4th day, it should be possible. But if you're averaging every 4th day, like,
bro, and you also don't do that.
I would love to play every 4 days. Bro, I think Chelsea's average is closer to 2 than it is to 4.
It's a spurt, a little bit in December and a little bit in the early spring. And, like the rest of the season, most of the year, you're playing once every 7 days.
Okay, yes, you're playing a
game. 6 or 8 days.
I remember in high school playing high school basketball. Like, it wasn't necessarily the game that was the worst part. It was training. It was practice. Like, practice was a lot harder than games. But then on top of that, I don't think that's true at a professional level. I think that the players play harder in games than they do in training. But training is still super intense. Think about Conte. Like, Conte is known for murdering his players in training, like literally murdering them. So like, it's not like Spurs are having easy training sessions. Bielsa had incredibly intense training sessions. And so like they're having intense training sessions literally every day and then playing on average every 2.5 to 3.5 days. Like that's an incredible amount of strain on their body. Yes, they are professional athletes. Yes, they have the genetic makeup to allow their body to do that. Like, but still, it's still an incredible strain on their body.
Hey, James.
What's up?
James. We're talking we're trying to argue here with somebody who hasn't won a trophy in 14 years, who hasn't won the first division of football since 1961. So they never won the Premier League. So, I guess their team has never had to play that many short games, so they don't realize the injuries and the toll it takes. So,
I get the troll.
I think we're going to get through to Sean here.
I get the troll you're trying to make. And I agree with the sentiment that we are beating a dead horse here.
What's your solution? What's the solution?
I would get rid of the League Cup. I think it's a waste of time. I would make sure that it's in the bylaws that you can never play a game within 48 hours. There has to be at least like 54 hours between the kickoff of every match. And even that seems like a stretch to me. I might want to make it longer, but I'm okay with that. In a pinch, 54 hours seems... Wait, not 54. I'm good with those 48 plus 12 is 60 hours. Excuse me, 60 hours is what I mean to say.
Saying you're solving it by giving 2 players out of 11 a little footsie break for 30 minutes. Come on.
30 minutes times 38. Hold on. Let's do this.
It's not solving the problem.
It's certainly helping. It's alleviating the amount of stress on their bodies. And it's more than just resting certain players. It's also increasing the development time of other players. You're increasing the depth of the bench from 7 players to 9 players. So more academy players get the experience of a match day. They get to see how the first team operates. It helps for the academy. It helps for players. You have more options. How is this a bad idea? Literally every other professional league in the world has adopted 5 subs. And you're over here in the Stone Age acting like it's such an...
In the Stone Age, I'm just saying this is not like the be all answer. There needs to be better solution. What you provided is a perfectly good solution.
Hey, look,
just give it to the League Cup and make there a bylaw. I'm good with that.
If you have 2 more subs, and we'll say they normally come in on the 60th minute, right? Right. So 2 more subs. That would be like playing 25 1/3 games less over the course of a season. In terms of minutes played, you would be able to save them 2/3 of a season on their legs.
I think I see the math that you're doing. Hang on.
It should be 1/3, Brad. If you're taking out 1/3.
No, because it's 60. Because I did it twice. Because you have 2 people doing it.
Yeah, but you can't.
So if we're having 2 subs.
Yeah, but the
60 minutes.
2 subs can't come in for 1 person. Right.
Okay. So we'll do the 30.
It has to be.
My bad.
Just do it this way. If you're adding an additional third, you're reducing everyone's load by 1/3.
So you're taking 13 games off of their legs.
Yeah.
That's not even including other competitions that already allow 5 subs, and I think the games are better for it.
I don't know. I think you made a point.
That's also assuming you take the same. All right. So that's assuming that you take the same 5 off every time, but then you're not helping the other. Well, you're not helping the other 5 players. I'm not going to include the goalkeeper. You're not helping the other 5 players.
Yeah, so it's not going to be as black and white as Brad's painting it, but it is going to cumulatively reduce the stress across your squad for over the course of a season. I think it's a perfect.
Who this helps is Liverpool, City, Chelsea.
I think it's going to. That's what it helps. I think it helps. It certainly advance.
I think it helps.
I think it helps the teams that have more players more, but I think it is still good for every team. Unless you're like the 8th and 9th person you're putting on your bench for the match week squads are like your ball boy and the kit man, then it helps literally every team in some facet. I don't know. This is we're getting nowhere. Let's talk about let's talk about the matches that were played. Actually, I'm gonna pull up the league table first because that's what I like to do. Let me change the scene. Excuse me.
One more. This isn't gonna go back into a conversation.
Okay.
When I was running cross country in college, I liked hard practices in between the races. I looked forward to them. So I'm sure even being 20% of what an elite athlete is over in Europe. I'm sure there are players that really enjoy and look forward to those types of training regiments.
Yeah, I'm sure there are some players that enjoy it more than others. I don't think Eden Hazard enjoys hard training sessions.
I think he's the anomaly.
I don't think Dele Alli enjoys hard practices.
But like certainly there are players.
That's why Dele Alli is Ali out the door.
Yeah, there are certainly players that enjoy that type of environment. Yeah, so league table. Let's talk about this. So
let's take a look at it.
So still very tight at the top. 1 point separates City and Liverpool. They are set to face off this weekend. Could be a title decider. Chelsea are in third, even though they had lost this weekend. Tottenham are up to fourth, equal number of points as Arsenal. Five goal difference swing for Tottenham, though Arsenal have a game in hand on Tottenham. So Tottenham have played 30. Arsenal have only played 29. Arsenal and Tottenham are set to face off finally on May the 12th. Now, remind me, Sean, what day did you say that the North London Derby was going to be rescheduled for?
Whatever not day it is that you. So the opposite of what you said. All right.
My day was May the 11th. I assumed it would be on a Wednesday. It was silly me. It was on the Thursday, the 12th. You said it was going to be on the 18th, like a super wrong person you are. And all of your takes are wrong. West Ham.
All right.
West Ham and Manchester United are both on 51 points in 6th and 7th, respectively. Wolves are in 8th. Crystal Palace are up to 9th after their victory against Arsenal. Leicester are in 10th, though they have 2 games on Crystal Palace. Aston Villa are in 11th. Southampton are in 12th. Brighton and Hove Albion are in 13th. Brentford up to 14th. Newcastle are down to 15th, losing to Tottenham. Leeds are in 16th. Everton 17th. Watford 18th. 19th is Burnley, and still in 20th is Norwich City. The relegation battle basically unchanged as it has been. Everton lost, Watford lost, Burnley lost. Norwich did get a draw, and Leeds got a draw. Was that against? I don't remember. Did they play each other? No, they didn't. I just had to double check because I wasn't sure. But yeah, so like the bottom 5 unchanged. So, but yeah, that is what the table looks like as it stands right now. Going over the specific matches that were played on the return from the international break. Kicking off the weekend, Liverpool hosted Watford at Anfield. Liverpool won that game 2-0. Brighton and Norwich in James's pick of the week played to a 0-0 draw. I will have high-level commentary for that game momentarily. Burnley.
Wow.
Burnley hosted Manchester City. City won that game 2-0. I couldn't get through the joke.
You couldn't give the next score out. Like it didn't even wait to the Chelsea game. He just he said Burnley and then started chuckling.
Loyal listeners, friends of the podcast, as you know, I did not watch my pick of the week, but I beg for your forgiveness, and I ask for another opportunity in match week 31. But we'll get to that. Chelsea hosting Brentford. Christian Eriksen rises from the dead and murders Chelsea 4-1. Brentford get the. Can I say that? Is that allowed?
Wow.
That's too soon.
Too soon.
He scored for his national team, and now he's scoring for his club again. Like, I feel like that's acceptable.
He literally rose from the dead. Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Guys, weigh in on this bad take of him.
I don't think it was that bad.
You're lucky.
Clearly, because I said it.
Given the way the Oscars went, I'm surprised Christian Eriksen's wife hasn't slapped you by now.
I don't know. She should be happy. Her husband is competing and doing the thing he loves week in and week out.
Sean's trying to reach to the screen and smack you right now.
No, I was just making a spousal Oscar defense joke.
I got you. Leeds and Southampton played to a 1-1 draw. Wolves beat Villa 2-1. United and Leicester played to a 1-1 draw, though United were exceptionally lucky to not lose that game. West Ham beat Everton 2-1. I think something like Frank Lampard has lost like 7 of his first 11 games in charge of Everton or something insane like that. It's dreadful. If they don't get relegated this season, they're definitely getting relegated next season. Spurs shellacked Newcastle. R.I.P. Joel. What happened, man?
Yeah, Joel. Joel, what happened?
5-1.
Trying to pop off.
And then
he tried to pop off on Saturday and then got crushed on Sunday.
Crystal Palace. Oh, was he talking smack to you about Chelsea?
Oh yeah. He was talking all types of smack.
Oh, that's great. I want to see that text thread. And then Crystal Palace beat Arsenal 3-0. I think that's a flattering scoreline for Palace, but we will talk about that as well momentarily. But where should we start? Where do we start with the champion chasers? Liverpool and City both holding form against teams they should obviously beat.
No, that's boring. Let's talk about Brentford shellacking Chelsea. What's going on with that one?
You're right, Sean. We should start there.
I think here's what happened. I think everybody was stunned that one of Rudiger's 40-yard shots actually went in the net.
And then they stopped playing.
And it took us 10 minutes to realize, oh, wait, we still have to play after that goal.
What I thought was funny is he took 2 more of those the rest of the game.
He takes about 3 a game. We've been waiting for one of these screamers to go in. Like, the celebration, I was at work, and I saw the tweet, Rudiger scores, and I was like, there's no way this is a header. This has to be in the long shot. Then I got hype, and then over the next 7 minutes, there were 3 other texts that came through and said, Brentford 1-1, Brentford 2-1, Brentford 3-1. And I was like, oh, we stopped playing. Okay. But hey, listen, guys.
Oh, no, not this. Gosh.
What happened last year at this international break? What happened last year this international break? We had...
Not listening.
It was Chelsea versus West Bromwich Albion, and we lost 5-2. 3-goal difference. Coming off the international break, Chelsea loses 4-1, a 3-goal difference. Hey, Sean, what happened last year?
Not listening. Don't say anything. Don't say anything, Sean.
I think we won Champions League. I think Kai Havertz won as the Champions League. So it's written in the stars, baby. It's coming home again. It's coming home again.
Brad's the only person I know that's going to flip a 4-1 loss into winning the biggest competition in the world. Well, not the biggest competition in the world. Biggest club competition in the world.
Jimmy, I think those North Carolina Stars are going a little haywire again.
Oh, boy. Honestly, I watched the whole game. Brentford were up for that the entire time. They were. I mean, Chelsea had their handful and more. That was not 4 counterattacks.
No,
like they were pressing, and same in the Arsenal game, or the Spurs game with Newcastle, where Spurs were on their ass all game,
which is surprising.
Yeah. It is, because they don't normally press like that, and they were suffocating Newcastle, and Brentford were doing the same to Chelsea, and I think it surprised Chelsea that they were doing that.
Yeah, Brentford's a very well coached team. Like, it's not a joke. They will remain up because there's such bad teams below them. But like, Brentford's going to be a force to be reckoned with here in a couple of years.
Brentford was on Chelsea's ass, contesting every pass, contesting every ball.
I think it's going to be. You say Brentford's going to be a force to be reckoned with in a couple of years. It's really going to depend on if they can hold on to their players and what kind of recruitment they can realistically have. Leeds, like last year, you probably were saying the same thing about Leeds, and look at Leeds this year.
That's injuries.
I'm with you. But injuries could happen to Brentford next year. You know what I mean?
True.
I think Brentford's ceiling is Crystal Palace.
We also played a 4-3-3.
I don't
with Loftus-Cheek in the middle. So
I don't necessarily disagree with you, Sean. I think it would be many.
We're not saying they're challenging for Europe, but
I agree.
Their ceiling is Palace, where you don't really want to catch them on a bad week.
That's fair.
Ask James.
Yeah,
but on a week where you're not ready for the game, you don't want to catch that team.
Yeah,
Sean's popping off tonight.
I mean, we lost to Brentford.
Well, that was you did. I mean, it was first game of the season.
It did.
First game of the season. Like I said at the beginning,
yeah.
I'm not really holding that. I'm not really holding that against you.
Yeah, and Leno was fouled on the second goal. I'm just saying, and we had like 7 first-team players
fine. Yeah, you looked fine in the game too. Like your players looked up for it. It just you lost.
Yeah, sometimes you lose. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's about how you respond. Only I hope that Arsenal don't respond to the next 2 matches right now as they did to the next 2 matches after losing to Brentford, because that would not be good for Arsenal. I want to talk about this United Leicester game. That game was painful to watch for me. It looked like Leicester was trying, not Leicester, yeah, that Leicester were just trying to do the fanciest of passes and couldn't get anything to work. Like all of their players were taking an extra touch, waiting to try and find like the best pass they could possibly have, and just passing to a United player. Like it seemed like such a poor passing game to watch. And on top of that, Manchester United are incredibly lucky because of the disallowed goal that Leicester had. Leicester scored a second goal to go up 2-1, and VAR turned the goal back for a foul on Raphael Varane, which I think was incredibly soft. I don't know if you guys got to see it, but it's essentially like Varane like kind of like fumbles his foot on the ball, like loses control, and the Leicester player kind of like their legs kind of come together near like just above the ankles, and Varane goes down because he got touched, and the Leicester player nicks the ball, passes to Maddison. Maddison scores, and then VAR brings it back for a foul on Varane.
Was it so was the foul
5 seconds
more or less contact than the Zaha penalty?
It was less. It was less contact than the Zaha, because the Zaha penalty was legitimate contact.
I thought it was a legitimate foul too.
And that's the second time Odegaard's done that this year. He did it against Manchester United. But it was, I think it was less. It was about equal to or less contact than the foul on Saka that wasn't called for Arsenal. I don't know if you guys saw that one. I think we should have had a penalty there. Yeah, so I don't know. Manchester United just look bad. They look like they were dominated by Leicester in the last like 35-40 minutes of that game. They just look bad.
Hey, do you remember in the beginning of the season when we said Ronaldo would be the implosion? Hold on. Are you ready for this stat?
Yeah.
United have not won a game that he has not started.
So
when he doesn't start, they don't win. So
we were wrong about that.
We were wrong. Like they need Ronaldo to start to win.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder. I mean, like, I wonder why that. Like, they're just so dysfunctional at so many levels. I mean, granted, like if you go there 1-11, their players just aren't as good. Like in terms of like if you compare like
on paper, they're great. On paper, they're great,
bro.
On FIFA, this team is probably dope.
That's what I'm saying. Like they should be good. They are not getting.
They're like hype there. FC right there. Like hold on. Like I want to compare their squad. Like which do you think they have a better squad than Tottenham? Do you think Manchester United has a better squad than Tottenham, Sean?
Yeah,
I'm not sure they do. Do you think they have a better? Do you think they have a better squad than Arsenal? I don't need. That one's
probably closer. But I'm talking about if Manchester players are playing at their top, at what they're capable of. But they're not playing to that. Rashford has not been playing to that. Lingard, when he plays, has not been playing to that. Paul Pogba has not been playing to that.
Okay, but hold on.
Go down the list. But they're not playing.
Pogba hasn't been playing to his maximum potential in like 3 or 4 years.
It's been a while.
So
since he went to United.
Yeah. So like, can we really say that his max potential is what his max potential was 3 years ago, or should we be judging him based off his more recent form? Because I think that we need to base him off his more recent form.
Was he at United? Yeah, I was going to say when he went. Was he on United when they won the World Cup?
Yes.
Because he was excellent.
Yeah, he's great for France.
in the World Cup.
Look, Danny Drinkwater was excellent when he was paired with Conte.
Like, so that's his point. His point is that Danny Drinkwater got paired with Conte at Chelsea, and Paul Pogba gets paired with Conte.
Leicester.
Leicester. Excuse me. Yeah. Didn't Drinkwater come to Chelsea for a little while?
Drinkwater did come to Chelsea. He just never played because they're like, oh, we got the right one. We bought both, but we only needed one.
Yeah.
He's technically still on the roster too.
Loaned out somewhere, undoubtedly.
Yes.
I think
Bruno Fernandes is a good player. Jadon Sancho is a good player. McTominay is a good player.
No, that's where you lost me.
Hold on.
McTominay is a good player.
But like, who are you comparing him to? Would you rather have McTominay or Højbjerg?
Oh, Højbjerg.
Would you rather have McTominay or Xhaka?
Xhaka.
Would you rather have
probably Xhaka, but yeah.
Would you rather have McTominay or you just said his name, Conte?
Conte.
Would you rather have McTominay or any?
Partey.
What?
Partey. McTominay or Partey?
See, the Arsenal ones, they're close, but it's still Partey.
Okay. Look, if your midfielders are McTominay and Fred trying to interlink with everybody there, and they all do the same thing. Bruno and Ronaldo are similar players in where they end up in the position, how they play.
The mental part of the game.
Jadon Sancho is kind of a left wing, kind of a right wing, but he wants to play centrally too. So you have three players that want to play centrally.
I think
there's only one center spot.
I said it at the beginning of the year, the root of the problem with this move is that they got all these players that do the exact same thing.
Yeah, you did say that many times.
And so that's the problem, except Pogba. But you have Rashford, Sancho, Fernandes, and Ronaldo that all do the same thing. They come in off the left.
You're afraid of Lingard, Greenwood.
Greenwood. Well, he's not.
We don't talk about Greenwood anymore. But
they all do the same thing.
You know what's funny about this? They put Pogba at striker this week.
Yeah. So like we're talking about like players that are not playing to their potential. When Rangnick needed to find a striker, like a center forward, to play against City, and like a lot of people were injured, instead of taking Rashford and playing Rashford, who is a recognized center forward, he played Paul Pogba as a center forward. And so like there are deficiencies in the squad. I think you're overrating their players substantially, Sean. And I think
Maguire is what he is, but you don't think Rafael Varane on his own without a trash can beside him is a good center back?
I think he is. He is.
You don't think Luke Shaw is probably top 5 left backs in the league?
Hell no.
What?
No.
I would take him on Tottenham. I'll tell you that.
I think you take him and 6 months later be like, get this guy off my team.
You wouldn't,
Reggie.
You wouldn't take him over. Well, I'm not taking him. Reguilon. Is he starting over Reguilon?
No.
I don't think so. He's not starting over Tomiyasu. I mean, at Arsenal, he's certainly not starting over Tomiyasu. He
plays left. He's not starting over Tierney.
Yeah.
He plays left back. Yeah, he's not starting over Tierney, and he's not starting over.
You're right.
Well, he might start on Chelsea. You want Christensen out there? Oh, Chilwell. I forgot about Chilwell. He's just injured.
I'll take Alonso over Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Not Christensen. Alonso's who I was thinking of.
He's not playing for City. He's not playing for Liverpool. Like, I don't know. I think
he's at the only club that he would start on a top 6 team.
Agreed.
Which means he's not top 5.
I think that, yes, look, Rafael Varane, very, very good player. Like, phenomenal player.
It's a normal right back, because it's not Delo.
Wan-Bissaka. And he's a joke. He's a joke, too.
Never mind.
But like these players that you're naming, like Fred, like I don't think Fred doesn't. I don't want Fred to play for Arsenal. I don't want Fernandes to play for Arsenal. He's a luxury player in a team that doesn't. He's not good. He's also just not good. Like I'm sorry. Like he doesn't provide the level of support that I think you need out of a number 10. Like. It's just, I don't think he's good. Ronaldo is 95 years old. Would I take Ronaldo at Arsenal? No, but I would have him as a coach. or like as a motivational quotient kind of guy, and like changing the mentality and the mindset of the players around him. So if you're taking him for that reason, then maybe. But like their center forwards, Cavani he's not washed, but he's not working anymore in England. Rashford might be the next Dele Alli. Lingard is apparently 95 years old as well. I thought he was younger, but he's like 30 years old. So like, and he hasn't done anything in his career. Greenwood is probably never playing professional football at a high level again. So like, it's just
ever again.
This team is like you said, on paper, on FIFA, I think it's highly regarded, but I don't know why.
Because they're stats.
I mean,
and you can play players out of position on FIFA. And you're the interconnecting. There is no interconnection to United. United haven't had a focus at play since Ralph came in, and Ralph hasn't gotten over his ideas as well as he probably should have. But I also don't think he has the right mix of players to be able to play his style he wants to play. Because like Ole on the board, it said, "Go out there and play, and magic will happen." That was the quote that he had up there.
It seems like such an OGS thing.
That was the quote on the board, was "Go out and play and magic will happen."
Oh, that's fantastic.
The other problem that they have, and I don't know if this is contractual, like it was for your boy over there at Arsenal that had to play in every game.
Willian?
Yeah, Willian. Why is the best goalkeeper in Manchester United not playing?
That's a good question. I mean, David De Gea has been having a good season. Like, so I don't want to. United's issues this year are not because of David De Gea.
But it's because they have a refrigerator at center back.
There's a big but there. Like, why wouldn't they be using this time to groom and get Henderson reps?
It's goalkeeper on the roster.
Experience. Yeah.
Because they probably think they still have a shot at top four. And I don't think. And I don't.
They don't.
And I don't think you benched. If you think you can sneak into fourth, I don't think you bench. I don't think Ralph has the gonads to bench De Gea because he's not going to be there. So like the players aren't really even listening to him anyways. So what does that do by benching?
You guys are saying more so not playing the best player because he's the best player. You guys are saying don't bench the hot hand.
No, I'm saying like, look. What was it? It took 3 coaches at the Giants to bench Eli, or 2 coaches at the Giants to bench Eli for a game. Yeah. So then they could get Eli out. Ralph isn't the guy to bench De Gea.
I mean, they also want to keep De Gea. I mean, like clearly the board and like the hierarchy at Manchester United still rate him because they're trying to sign him to an extension. Like they're trying to extend De Gea, and they may have already extended De Gea. I don't remember, but like. Yeah, it seems to me that like if De Gea and Henderson are even, I would play Henderson over De Gea if it was my choice. You're going to get less mistakes out of De Gea, it seems like, than Henderson, is I guess what their calculus. And to your point, if they think that they can finish top 4, and for all intents and purposes, they could finish in the top 4. It's not outside the realm of possibility. I mean, I don't know.
Especially because you finished second last year. Do we forget they finished second?
They finished second in a league that was Liverpool. They had no players.
32. What's Dean Henderson?
Liverpool had no players. Chelsea couldn't score goals to save their lives.
But they finished second. So like, I'm just saying, as a cumulative of events, like you don't bench De Gea.
I don't know.
Just all three of us agree.
Hold on. Here's my question for you in that regard. Would you have benched Leno for Ramsdale?
In the same category?
Like yes. Leno has been and was very good for Arsenal for many years. And Ramsdale got relegated 2 times in a row. But
Leno was performing poorly. You just said that De Gea is not performing poorly.
He wasn't, though. Leno wasn't really performing poorly. They lost to Brentford. He got fouled on a goal, and so it made him look bad. But anyone you talked to said he got fouled too. And then we lost to City after Xhaka got sent off in like the 30th minute. And Chelsea, like 2 games that you're allowed to lose. And then he gets benched for Ramsdale. Like, it seems to me that like unless you're willing, and I think it's turned out to be a good change for Arsenal, but unless you're willing to make those hard moves, then like it's not going to work out for you. But like
right, but here's the thing: Arteta has the full 100% backing of Arsenal. Correct. They have bought into the Arteta program.
Correct. True.
United gave Ralph a 6-month contract and then said, "Cool, now you can advise us for the next 2 years after that."
Yeah.
Do you think Ralph wants to mess up that advisory gig?
I mean, if he does, he's getting paid. Right? Whatever he agreed to, if they renege on it and they're like, nah, dude, get out of here, he's still getting paid because they have to break his contract. So like,
but he's not going to be the one to bench De Gea. Like that's what I'm saying.
I agree with you.
You have the wrong manager in the spot to bench. Homie might though. The guy that is apparently like all but signed up. Yeah. I think he's got to reshape the squad, and I think United's going to have to go through a mini rebuild, which is funny because they spent buttloads of money this year. And like you're gonna have to keep spending it.
But if there's any club in England that can afford to have multiple start-stop rebuilds, it's Manchester United. Like they can certainly afford it.
I think that was definitely a good pickup there. What happened? So you said Palace, Arsenal was a generous result at 3-0.
So yeah, so I think Arsenal deserved a penalty. I think it would have made the game 2-1. I think Arsenal were playing very well to have not scored. And Nketiah hit the crossbar on it.
That was a great shot.
An absurd shot when he took it. But somehow it made it look good. So like Arsenal didn't play bad. Like 3-0 scoreline makes it seem like you get played off the park. I think Arsenal were certainly suffering from the fact that Kieran Tierney wasn't in the side, and we're going to have to deal with that for the rest of the season because he's tore his knee or something like that, destroyed his knee. What?
How many games has Tierney actually played for you guys this year?
A lot this year. Last year, you're thinking last year when he was out injured a lot. But this year he's played a lot for us. But we certainly were missing Tierney. We're missing Tomiyasu as well, but like Cedric Soares has been playing really well for us. But I don't know. It just what, Brad?
I was just looking. He's played 24 matches this year.
Yeah,
total.
Are you talking specifically Premier League? Only Premier League?
Oh, only Premier League 22 out of 30.
Okay, 22 out of 30. That seems pretty reasonable.
He played 27 out of 38 last year, so he'll play 22 out of
22 out of 38 this year. So like and like that is a concern for Arsenal that I've heard Arsenal fans wonder about because Kieran Tierney is amazing. He's very good, but like, will he stay healthy is the question.
And it was 15 the year before that. Like,
yeah. But so like, that's a legitimate concern, but I don't know. I think that Arsenal played better than 3-0. I think we could have scored a goal. I mean, clearly we have a goal deficiency and we knew that we had a goal deficiency. Coming in after January, like this was always a big risk to only have Lacazette and Nketiah as recognized center forwards for Arsenal. Crystal Palace were really good, and I don't want to take anything away from Crystal Palace because they were very good. And how many times have you guys heard us on this podcast talk about how good Crystal Palace are? So like Crystal Palace are very good, but I do think that the scoreline flattered them slightly. Sean, you look like you're about to say something.
All right, Sean. Hey. Do you have anything on this Palace Arsenal?
Arsenal suck.
Hey, if not, I need you. So look, Joel was roasting me on Saturday. So I need you to give a good roast here of Newcastle on the Sunday game here.
Listen here, let me put my feet up here. Listen, Tottenham are the greatest team the world has ever seen. All right? That's all I'm saying. If you put 5 past Newcastle, a surging Newcastle. Oh, man. And that Champions League spot is looking good. I'm glad you guys kept it warm for us. That was nice of you.
So here's a question for you. Like, you are clearly pretty hyped, right? It was a good result for you. You guys had a great weekend. Like, I'm not taking anything away from you. I think that Tottenham clearly had the best weekend out of all of the teams fighting for the top 4. West Ham equally as good because they got a win and the teams above them lost. But do you think that Tottenham will finish 4th? Like now at this point, like you think 4th is Tottenham's to lose?
I said, Well, I've said all along from when Conte got hired, which I believe was late November,
something like that,
or early December, that fourth was made more realistic, is what I said. It is a real possibility. So, from that aspect, holding the position is a big thing. Now, granted, do we really hold it? You have a game in hand. It's not against us because that means we both have our games in hand against each other. So that's
our
not
game.
going to.
Our game in hand is against Chelsea.
Yeah. So, do you win that? I don't know, but you could. So, do we truly hold the spot? No, I can't say that. But from there and the form we're on, yeah, it's feeling like a real possibility, especially with how good they looked against. Granted, and I'll give Joel this, a Trippier list team, and Trippier we've accounted on this podcast a couple times, has been making Newcastle look very good, along with Byrne, along with Sam Wood, along with Grameris.
Chris Wood.
Yeah, I said Wood and Byrne and Grameris that have all been making them look better. But Trippier not being there is a big catalyst. I fully admit that.
They also lost two before getting to you guys.
Yeah, but it was one was against Everton, but one was against Chelsea. Yeah, like so. I mean,
so you expect to lose against Chelsea?
The biggest takeaway I like about this is we're starting to play like Conte wants us to play. That defensive, pressing, suffocating ball is, I'm sure, what he's looking for. And the number two, to beat teams we're fucking supposed to, because that is not a Tottenham tradition.
Hey. So as hype as you are right now, right? Yeah. And I'm gonna do a little teaser. Are you ready for that Villa loss?
No.
So that's the thing. Like I agree. Arsenal have a much harder run in than Spurs do. We talked about this last week. In terms of Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, United, I think Arsenal and United have the worst run in compared. Spurs and Chelsea, their run in is much nicer. But are you hot? Are you think I guess I want a definitive yes or no. Like, you think Spurs are going to finish fourth?
Yeah, at this point.
Okay.
I believe, because I guess we had a makeup game against Brighton because we're playing Brighton twice in 2 weeks, but and they're both league games. But we talked about it.
League games.
League games, sorry.
Yeah, of course they're league games. This is cup season. This is final season, baby. We know you're not there.
Two podcasts ago, we talked about that run where we had both Brighton and West Ham, and I said Tottenham's going to do what it does. It's going to probably beat Brighton or lose to Brighton and beat West Ham, or vice versa. It doesn't matter.
Got 6 points out of it.
And got 6 points out of it. So then going into a Newcastle game, I'm kind of thinking, of course I think we could beat Newcastle, but I'm kind of thinking, this might be the letdown game. And then they win again. So I think maybe Conte's starting to get through of like, hey, you don't have to lose to these bottom feeders.
I mean, you've got 3 wins in a row. 4 out of the last 5 you've won. I think it's actually better than that, actually, if you go back far enough, but I don't know. But I mean, Aston Villa.
The roller coaster was before that.
Yeah, Aston Villa is going to be a difficult game this weekend. That's a tough game for you guys.
The fighting Coutinhos don't scare me. All right.
All right. I mean, fine. That's fair. I wouldn't be surprised if Villa get a result, whether it's a draw or win in that game. I wouldn't be surprised. Because I think, Arsenal have to beat Brighton this weekend. And I think that Arsenal will beat Brighton this weekend. If Arsenal don't beat Brighton this weekend, if Arsenal lose to Brighton this weekend, then Arsenal not going to finish in the top 4. But I think Arsenal are going to beat Brighton. So what happens if Arsenal beat Brighton and you guys drop points against Villa? Will you still be this hot on Spurs? You still think? I wonder if the fickle Sean is going to come back in a week, because you're always up and down, man.
Sean's on a high this week. I think it's going to happen.
That's the club. That's supporting Tottenham.
And hold on, is it the hope that's going to kill you? Like, are we going to come back like 2 weeks into May, like right before the North London derby on May the 12th? We'll record a podcast on May the 10th, which is a Tuesday. Are we going to sit here and be like, well, it doesn't honestly matter what happens in this game because even if Arsenal lose, they still got 4 points on Spurs or something like that? Like are we going to get to that point in May? And
see, that's the whole thing about Tottenham.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
No, it's not a not knowing. It's inevitably knowing that you're going to get let down. It's the quote from Malcolm in the Middle of "I expected nothing and still was disappointed." That's Tottenham in a nutshell.
I don't know. Quickly, we'll hit up. I want to talk about the World Cup.
Yeah.
In the Champions League, Liverpool beat Benfica 3-1 today away, so they have a 3-1 goal lead, and Manchester City beat Athletic 1-0 in the Champions League. But I don't care about that because I want to talk about the World Cup, and this is an English football podcast, so clearly we need to talk about where England landed in the World Cup draw. All of our teams have English internationals on them. It's going to be a big tournament for the Three Lions, or at least that's what they say. I know Joel has said that football's coming home, but there's just one. I don't want to say like small problem for England, but it's pretty sizable.
It's a huge problem.
Pretty sizable problem, I think. They got drawn against old Uncle Sam. United States and England in the same group again at the World Cup, joined by our good friends, our good international ally and buddy from down the road, the Islamic Republic of Iran. That's just going to be a good home-cooked affair between these three teams. And then whoever is the fourth team is either going to be Ukraine or Wales and Scotland. That line
or Wales or whoever wins the Wales-Scotland game. No, it's Ukraine. No, it's Ukraine or Scotland versus Wales. So which one? Every one of those three gets
Wales
got
the bye. Okay.
I think it's Wales. I think it's Wales. I got the bye.
I thought it was the other way around, but I stand to be corrected. And I wish you would have corrected me when I said this.
Oh, no. Ukraine did get the bye. No, Ukraine did get the bye, but Wales Scotland hasn't taken. Wait.
What? Yeah, Wales Scotland hasn't played yet. I think Brad is just.
Oh, it's the Scotland. No, it's Scotland Ukraine.
Okay.
Playoff matchup to play Wales.
Okay, so I was wrong. So it's okay. So it's either Wales or Ukraine and Scotland. Anyway, that's Group B in the World Cup qualifying, in the World Cup's Group B. It's England, Iran, USA, and then that fourth team is the final UEFA qualifying team. Should be really good. Really excited about it. I think regardless of who that fourth team is, I think the USA has a good shot at qualifying out of the group.
I think it's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough group. Iran are a very good football team.
I agree with you.
And so are all three of those teams that could come out of that. So that's going to be a tough group.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It's a tough group. I think it's a toss-up. I think you could make an argument that Group B is the group of death. I don't think I don't think it is the group of death, but I think you could make an argument that Group B is the group of death. But my toxic trait is being overly optimistic when it comes to teams I support. I think that the USA should beat Iran. Should beat Iran. That's 3 points, and they should, in my opinion,
beat one of those three teams. Beat all three of those three teams.
I feel like USA can play a draw against England. I think we can.
Hold on, it's going to be a heck of a tea party and a Black Friday for England.
There we go. Heard it here first.
USA is getting the dub. We're not drawing. We're getting the dub.
All right, let's do it. That's we're playing England on the second match day in our group.
Guys,
it's Black Friday.
Guys.
Oh, is
it? You never ask a woman her age. You never ask a man his salary, and you never ask the confirmed participants in Group E what they were doing from 1930 to 1945, because that would be Spain, Japan, and Germany.
Wow.
Wow.
Bro, like, you're giving me a hard time about making a Christian Eriksen joke, and you're out here talking about Nazis and and whatnot. Like, come on, bro.
Wow.
Here's my hot
guys.
take. Here's my hot take. Here, hold on.
Go ahead with your hot take.
You got it.
Hold on.
Here's my World Cup hot take.
I have not.
We got two hot takes.
I haven't
heard. We got battling hot takes. Okay. No. I didn't tell anybody about this.
I'm worried. I'm concerned.
I just thought about it.
I'm concerned.
World Cup winner, 2022, England. No. And here's why. Okay. Because they're going to play a little bit of season, then play the World Cup, then go back to the season. Very little break. Guess who does that every year? Keep playing through the holidays. That would be England. Congrats on playing every week and not having any breaks. There you go, boys. England does it all the time.
He brought it from the top. He brought it from the top to the bottom.
I mean,
that's right. They're used to it.
Wow.
That's not a bad take.
They're used to it.
I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's a warm take. I think England are probably one of the favorites in this.
Because think about it, most other clubs get a couple week break before the World Cup. A couple weeks, because they start in like the second week of June.
Leagues.
The other league, yeah. The other the players from other leagues, yeah. So the majority, if not all, of English players play in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's true.
If I'm not mistaken, that's just about all of them play there. They do it all the time anyway. They do it every year.
Not a bad take.
Yeah, there's no winter break this year. Wow.
Wow. Take hot, sizzling.
We will certainly have more for the World Cup coming in November, December. We will. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do some sort of coverage for the World Cup.
I think we're going to have to because there will be no Premier League. So I think it's going to turn into World Cup Radio.
It's Red Card Radio World Cup edition. It's like the, we'll figure it out.
We don't have anything to talk about.
Maybe we'll need to yeet two of us off this and make it a more diverse cast. Maybe we can find an Englishman to join us. Maybe find someone who is of Iranian descent, and either someone who is from one of those other countries that potentially could be. Make it a
Zelensky.
Yeah, call it Zelensky.
Apparently he's doing cameos. Couldn't find that one, but he's doing cameos these days.
He's appealing for. Anyway, we're not touching that one. Match week 31. The games that we got coming up this week and weekend. On Wednesday, we got a makeup game between Burnley and Everton. Sean, what is that? Is that a relevant? How many points is that one in the relegation?
That's a 9-pointer. That's a 9-pointer.
Okay. Relegation 9-pointer.
6-pointers are out the window because once you lose that, you're going to lose another one. So it's a 9-pointer.
It's a 9-pointer. You heard it here first on Red Card Radio. On Friday, match week 31 kicks off in earnest. We got Newcastle hosting Wolves. On Saturday morning, we got Everton hosting United. It's funny that I think Everton could win that game. Arsenal host Brighton. Southampton hosts Chelsea. Watford hosts Leeds. Villa hosts Spurs. On Sunday, we got Brentford hosting West Ham United, Leicester hosting Palace, Norwich hosting Burnley, and then the big game of the weekend, the tasty matchup. Guys, we screwed up and didn't leave any time to talk about City hosting Liverpool. That's going to be a huge game. Huge game.
All right, let's do it real quick. Who's winning? Sean, who's winning, City or Liverpool? And a score.
Liverpool 2-1.
James?
I think big game clock comes through.
I think City's winning 1-0.
Ooh, gosh. All right. City 2-1.
I will see. I put it down. They are on the sheet. They are written down. I think another actually very good game to watch this weekend. What? Why you
don't have to.
Bro,
what?
Sean, you don't have to.
Sean, stop what you're doing. Sean.
It's good. It's good.
Great content, guys.
Sean's out here screwing up our Google Doc as we're doing things. Anyway.
You guys will see the Google Doc and we'll put in his edits.
Don't worry about it. Just keep moving. Go. Okay. What's the other good game?
The other good game I think is Villa Spurs. I think that's going to be
Arsenal Brighton.
Is this troll? I think the Villa. I'm trying to be serious here. I'm trying to be honest. The Villa Spurs game I think is going to be really good. I know that you think that Villa are a pushover, but they are not.
All right. Hey, listen. I think it'll be a good game too. I think Coutinho shows up. I think Villa are playing a little bit better under Gerrard. I think Gerrard's gonna want to beat the Spurs. If that's your pick of the week,
it is.
I was gonna say, which Burnley game is your pick of the week?
Nope.
I think you're wrong.
Well, okay.
I think you're wrong.
Burnley.
I think
hold on. Burnley Everton is the midweek makeup game. So like, I'm not selecting that one because that's a dumpster fire tour.
Okay, I think you go ahead with your pick of the week, and then I'm gonna go with the real James pick of the week.
Okay, Norwich Burnley is a bad game. That's a bad game.
But that's not your pick of the week.
No,
even though
my pick of the week is Watford Leeds. And
wow.
let me tell you why Watford Leeds is my pick of the week, because I think it's going to be a better football game. The pick of the week tries to balance both crappy teams and exciting games to watch, because I want our listeners, our friends, people who invest time in us to have a good game of football to watch. And I think Leeds against Watford is going to be a better game of football than Norwich versus Burnley. That sounds dreadful.
So is this going to be the game that you actually watch?
I might. It depends on what happens. Well, I'm going to be traveling. Well, actually, I'm going to be traveling this weekend, and I'm going to have to deal with the children a lot this weekend because, traveling, and my wife has something going on this weekend. So I will try and wherever I land, perhaps if I'm in a city that has a television, I might try and watch these matches, but we'll see. Because I think the problem is I think Watford and Leeds is on at the same time as Arsenal, Brighton, and Southampton, Chelsea. And it would be a shame if I'm somewhere where there's a Chelsea fan. What's up, Sean?
Let's dissect Gerrard's got them playing better. All the way back to January 2nd, lost to Brentford. That's FA Cup. Drew United. That's a good one. Beat Everton. That's a good one. Drew Leeds United. Lost to Newcastle. Lost to Watford. Beat Brighton. Beat Southampton. Beat Leeds. Great. Lost to West Ham. Lost to Arsenal. Lost to Wolves.
Okay, but those are
expected.
Those last 3 games, those teams are playing better than ever. You need to back it up. But you also need to back it up and remember.
Back it up.
Back it up. Remember what happened to Aston Villa before Steven Gerrard came in. They lost 5 straight under Dean Smith.
Sean, I think you're proving James's point here by showing how poor Villa's run of form is here. Because if Tottenham's going to Tottenham, this is the L coming.
That's true.
This could be the L. Yeah.
But yeah, that's Brad, I think that your point about Norwich Burnley is well taken for the pick of the week, but I think that
that's the real pick of the week. Norwich Burnley will be the worst game of the weekend.
We'll see.
And it will be the one that James definitely does not watch. I can guarantee you James will not watch Norwich Burnley.
I might be busy. But yeah, so that's all we got for you guys. If you're still sticking it out, A, we really appreciate it. B, I apologize for all of Sean's lunacy this week. I'm going to try and beat some sense into him before we get back together next week, but no promises. But yeah, so if you're still listening, if you could hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell on YouTube, share this podcast with a friend, leave us a comment either in the YouTube comments or hit us up on Twitter. You can always find us on Twitter. That's at KSBradG. That's at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany. Do any number of those things because you wouldn't want a former club legend managing another team to. I don't understand how that's an inconvenience in my personal life, but whatever Sean said, you don't want what Sean said to happen to you. So yeah,
because you're in 5th, not 4th.
Got it.
And he wanted to make sure that you knew that you were in 5th.
Got it. We collectively are at redcard_radio on Twitter. So yeah. We'd love to interact with you guys. Leave us a comment, and we will get to it next week when we see you guys next time. Have a good evening.